plans, as well as Magnus, and he just couldn't deal with the change of pace of the game. And Jan-Krzysztof right, we do open with the king's pawn, 1e4, and that's met by the Sicilian defense by Magnus. Okay, bringing his knight out. This is Magnus's World Championship repertoire from 2018. Okay, the black pawn now pushing forward after white's bishop.
I'm not keen on this bishop moving to that square. It's a very viable opening, but I think it falls into Magnus's advantage. He's going to go into some kind of maneuvering game. Maybe he'll get the bishop pair. I don't know.
Okay, so this again, one of the most topical openings in chess. All the top players, all the top grandmasters in the world seem to debate this opening with white's bishop coming out. So I understand that Duda's going into something quite fashionable, but as Ivanka mentions, Magnus is not going to be surprised here at all. So Duda needs to be direct, and he needs to surprise the world champion, get him out of his comfort zone. But as you can see by the speed of moves, Magnus not surprised. And okay, white pushing pawn to the centre, black challenging and doing the same. Both sides, meanwhile, have developed quite naturally. Both sides have castled. Duda, however, at least he's gaining some space in the centre of the board. White has a nice pawn chain pointing towards the centre, and black's knight now occupying a very strong square. So both sides have reason to be happy. This is still very well-known territory. I've seen dozens and dozens of grandmaster games in this position. White's bishop coming out, just solidifying the centre. White's bishop not so active, he just needs to control the central squares. The white pawn chain especially needs to survive if Duda wins this game. I'm expecting Magnus to maybe bring his queen out. And a couple of moves here, maybe trade a set of pawns first.
Yeah, and trading the pawns is what Magnus played in his game against Fabiano Caruana from Tata Steel 2022, so very recently. And he's in front of the rook. So it wasn't the main move though. The main move is actually to make bishop takes knight, which again, I'm not so sure about because it does fall into Magnus's goal, getting those long-term advantages. Maybe in this one it will be the bishop pair. And we saw yesterday how great he was with the bishop pair, even in close positions.
pawns to start rolling. Maybe he'll improve the black bishop first.
Yeah.
Spoil for choice.
Totally. I mean, I would be tempting just to push my b-pawn, push it up 2 squares, and then threaten to promote Alice into a lovely new queen.
Yeah.
Looks like on his body language he is getting ready to resign though, Jan-Krzysztof Duda, and that will be dramatic. Now remember, we also have the auction that will be finished today. This unique signed chessboard by world champion Magnus Carlsen is up for grabs. Current bid $4,000, and well, not a lot of time left to make your bid. And remember, there's also a signed Airthings device by Magnus Carlsen on that auction site, cctauction.com. Current bid on that one, $375. Both of them signed by the player who could be about to win the Charity Cup.
Yeah, and really sadistic move here from Magnus, just putting his queen into the center once again, but a massive threat. The queen's threatening to slide it across 2 squares, checking the white king, but also hitting that undefended white rook at the top of the board. Queens are so versatile, they just have such good eyesight, just looking at all the pieces all over the board, and it's going to be hard for Jan-Krzysztof Duda to keep his pieces defended, keep his king safe. I mean, that's not even mentioning the advance of black's pawns that is incoming. I mean, yeah, there's not much to say here, unfortunately. White's rook at the top of the board has to find a safe square. It's loose. You can't have undefended pieces when your opponent has a queen, so you have to keep it on a protected square somewhere, but retreating it the whole way back down, being passive, that just gives black all the time in the world to advance the pawns. He defends his rook this way. The rook's teaming up at least, but this check forces the white king onto a dark square, and black has that dark square bishop. Queen and bishop teaming up.
Yeah, and now it's the knight that is a target. It's got a mark on his back, and well, his plan is simply just to start giving the white king a few checks, and here comes the king's forced to take a step backwards, but yet another pawn is up for grabs.
Yeah, if Magnus wants to be really greedy, the white pawn in the center of the board can just be captured by the black bishop, and there we go. They are falling. I mentioned dominoes. Those dominoes have completely toppled over. White only has 1 pawn remaining, black has 5 pawns. And queen versus 2 rooks, as we mentioned, roughly balanced. It's all about the pawns now, and the open white king. It's not just having the pawns, it's look how safe black's king is behind its pawns. Look how white is lacking shelter, and have we seen it there?
Yeah.
I think Duda has resigned.
It's over. Magnus Carlsen wins game 1 in the second match here in the final, and that's super dramatic.